very nicely. Really good support. That has been a feature for every Morocco home game since they started hosting the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Solid challenge coming in from Defer. I think it should be Algeria's ball as well. Remember covering the 2022 WAFCON final here when Morocco were in it for the first time. The stands were packed 3 hours before kickoff. There were dozens of flares lit up in the stands. If you had looked at the game, you wouldn't have known it was for the women's game in this part of the world. And they have continued to come in numbers all the while. Good ball into the middle. And Ghazi. And then Defer completing the clearance for Algeria. Farid Ben-Stiti on your screen, the man who took charge 4 years ago now. He's done really well with Algeria, leading them further than ever before in this tournament when taking them to the quarterfinals. Well, this looks like it's going to be a very, very early booking. 5 minutes on the clock. A protest as well from Ikram Ajabi. Clear push on the back of Yasmin Rabat. And she is pointing out to the Cameroonian referee, Elaine Marie-Noël Guibon, at Tom. It's possibly a harsh yellow card given the stage of the game and the offence as well. Another free kick goes the host's way. Sakina Rowie opened the scoring on Sunday against the Kenyans. Still feeling it a little as she walks off towards goal. And a little bit of discomfort. They've already had one bite from here. Betty trying to get away from the snapping of the heels of Azraf. You can undoubtedly hear the whistles coming in Algeria's way when they have a spell of possession. And they can expect plenty more of that, but also atmospheres in Algeria football are pretty lively most of the time. Here's Masoudi. First real run for her. Azraf. Rabat. Aitel Haj. Let's fly. Was never going to be troubling in Ghazi. Doesn't get too many over the years. Aitel Haj, very experienced player, wearing the captain's armband, of course, because his man Chabak is not in the starting lineup. The reigning African Women's Footballer of the Year, now 35 years of age, which may well mitigate and count against her minutes on the field. And in her absence, Al-Haj, the 31-year-old veteran of the side. Assume the captaincy. Here's Masoudi trying to wriggle through, trying to look through for Stade. Some fans claiming there was a handball there. Masoudi again. Bedouin against Elodie Nakash. Lovely switch of play out to Uzraoui. Delicious ball in as well, headed clear. Musaha. No defensive work. Aitel Haj just trying to cushion it down. And Betty taking it off her toes, and then that's a foul. And Algeria finally can relieve some of the pressure. Ines Bouloumi for Musaha. Musaha impeded. That's the free kick. And a skillful player. Musaha on her day. As we see Jorge Vilda, Spaniard in charge of Morocco, as he has been since 2 months after winning the World Cup with his native Spain, 2023. In after his predecessor Reynal Pedros was unable to win the WAFCON in 2022 despite reaching the final. Pedros must have thought last year at times that he had managed to do so himself. As the offside trap of Morocco catches out the Algerians. Inside leading Nigeria in the final before the Super Falcons fall back in stunning style. Good decision. Now catch looking for Masudi. Masudi's managed to do really well to turn her opposite number. And there she is again. Just waiting for an opening that would not come. Rabat. Really good battle in midfield. And the two number 6s going at it. Nakash and Betty. Sporting handshake as well between the two players. Setting up the lights on their telephones. Hassan shines, sparkles and twinkles on this Thursday night in the Moroccan capital. Switch of play to Uzraoui. Enough to get forward, and here she does so again. She's got Aitel Haj behind her. She runs out of room while she's gone down in the area, as her opponent. Yes, Bouloumi. Bouloumi's still down on the floor. And the referee belatedly calls a halt to proceedings. And there'll be a break in play. So whistles rain down on Bouloumi. There's a nice bit of skill here. A little bit of a nudge down into the Algerian. Not a lot of room to go through. The gate very, very small. Israeli has gone over to apologise to Moulay. Moulay back up on her feet. And this is a drop ball going to cycling. Algeria's way. Rabat with the header. There's that nice landing, hand clap. I'll see 10 years ago, the European Championships. Breaks out right to the applause inside this arena. Nakash. Benzina. Wenwani. Masudi, top of the shoulder. Gets away. Trainee in the middle. Still it goes. And breaking here. Chance for Morocco to open the scoring early on. Well, that's a really big block from Baloubou. It was Asraf with a twist of the turn. It was very well defended as well by Algeria, particularly their left back. Usaha possesses Asraf and then Defa just caught Rabat. There's the ball in, and this was the half chance, but look at the numbers of Algerians getting back. 4 players putting themselves between ball and goal. One of those, it ricocheted off. Free kick Algeria. A little bit of disagreement between Rosalind Hazami and Usaha. And that misplaced pass, certainly not on the same wavelength. Redwani. To get something on that. Betty. It's been a lively start to this game. Little goalmouth action, admittedly, but plenty of intensity around this clash between neighbours, long-standing rivals. The manner it feels, but certainly in the football one as well. Zina with the touch into Masudi, who starting games at the last tournament and often coming on at a opportune moment in the eyes of their coach, Jorge Vilda, who had at half time and a mystery at times why she wouldn't be starting. Former Morocco Women's League Player of the Year. 26 years of age now, Masudi, with many in the Moroccan side who played for AS FAR. Based here in Rabat, and Faisal Haj plays for AS FAR, as does Benzina, Benwani, Mishi at the back, a very experienced defensive unit, so familiar with each other's game. Well, this is Asraf, who plays her football with Barcelona. Come up through La Masia, she curls it in, great delivery. Benzina couldn't get the connection she wanted. Ball back into the middle, and then that's surely a foul, and that will be a free kick Algeria's way, because coming in from the wrong side of play was Faisal Haj. Jorge Vilda dissatisfied with something. Going down under pressure on the Moroccan skipper. Mazraoui again, showing us what she is all about. Loves to dribble, but she's also good to with her back to goal. Another with former experience of youth football in Europe, in Spain, but represented Belgium at youth level before switching to Morocco for away in that cash into Ashraf. Highly rated, the 18-year-old. She herself a former Spain youth international. Age under 15, under 16 before joining Morocco from under 17 level onwards. Well, here she is today at the age of 18, playing for the senior national team. Well, that's blatant push from Saha. Might be her case. Well, the cash was in the air and therefore no grounding. Clear foul. The hosts away. The hosts are looking to get to the knockout phase as early as they can. And Ghazi does really well to keep her eye on the ball then. Sure, she didn't drop it under pressure from Masoudi. Sympathy and little supply anytime an Algerian player goes down. Not too much contact with it, enough obviously for Ghazi to go down and have a breather and possibly take a little bit of sting out of the incessant nature of Morocco's attacks. Tifi barking the instructions, formerly in charge of Lyon. Paris Saint-Germain, the Algeria coach. Respected in his field. 4 straight championships with Lyon from 2007 to 2010. Led his side to a UEFA Champions Women's League final as well. In charge of PSG then for 4 or 5 years up to 2016. He knows what he's about and he's very invested in the nation of his family and roots. Rising and rising up the ladder of the women's game. For the record, Algeria are now 8th on the continent of Africa, 74th overall. Morocco, 4th in Africa, just 10 places higher in the world rankings. Well, 22 minutes gone and 15 fouls already on the board. You get an idea of the level at which this game is being played. No quarter given so far. Algeria in the thick of it and holding firm. They've had little so far. They have to defend in front of goal for Ghazi. Saha under pressure from Ait El-Haj. And then from Mazraoui. Saha hopefully forward. Initially, barely touched it. The veteran goalkeeper, 36 years of age now. Seemingly an ever-present presence between the sticks for the Atlas Lionesses. Much like some members of her back four, Benzina, Redouani, Atik, a new face, of course. And had familiar presence on the right side of the back line. Redouani. Masoudi. Nakash. Free kick. Vital match. Rowie. It's a little like a handball there, and it was indeed from the Moroccan. Azami. Fellow centre back. Smith's Raggy. Dispossessed. Here's the youngster into Rabat. Moving forward. Barcelona to Valencia in the centre of the park for Morocco. There's been Katie Rabat, given her proper name, but often known as Yasmin Rabat. Moroccan dad, English mum, born and raised in Spain. Long-standing presence in that midfield from Morocco. Here's Betty, just teasing it forward to Ajabi. Musaha was coming forward for the pass from Ikram Ajabi. Little undercooked. Musaha sandwiched by two. Rawi doubling up on Algeria number 11. Mira Ulbraham. Hazami. Nice idea from Ajabi, but just couldn't find Betty. Hazami away. Masoudi, on this occasion, held up by Morgan Ike. She's putting herself about a bit and really enjoying herself too. It's a terrific stadium, the Moulay Hassan. No running track, roof around it, 2 tiers, and it really does keep the sound in. It doesn't have to have too many in it to feel very vibrant and very alive. That's even before you get Morocco playing at home in a major competition. And Xavi almost got the wrong side of Mariam Atik. She is Atik on that score sheet on match day 1. Leading home from the corner. A smart finish as she headed it back from whence it came to last night. A 2-goal lead against the Kenyans. Kenya, who lost earlier today against Senegal in the first day of the game in Group A. Senegal winning it by a 1-0, meaning that they are on 3 points in the group. Both these sides on 4 as it stands. Should be tight. This game possibly go a long way to determining how this group complexion will look at the end of the group on Monday night. Massoudi through to Draidy. Roared on by the fans, Draidy has to settle for the corner. But she could not find way past the Algerian defence. In particular, Hassan. The drumming intensifies. Jumping of hands does too. So there's the further for Algeria to handle. Well, half an hour has whizzed by. Just the effort from Ashraf just before the quarter-hour markers. The only real chance of note in this game. Even find a way to force Ghazi into the save given the block. Swinging low and hard, and well, that's a waste, and straight into the side netting. And the Cash disappointed with that. What's the build up? No end product whatsoever. Spencer Rugg. Again. Linja Benjuis. Dafur. Striker goal from distance for Algeria. Michi scampers across her goal line. Ambitious effort from Balumi. Trying to switch it out to Massoudi. Azabi. Rugby out to okay. Dangerous going forward, but very overhits it. Apology, put a hand up. That's wrong. We can. Place the force with Samalo. That'll get the crowd going, and the referee reaching for her notebook as well. Moulay joining Ajabi in the referee's notebook for that foul on Uzraoui. It's a really interesting battle. This one on the right-hand side of the Morocco forward line between Uzraoui, who plays her forward at Tenerife, and Moulay, who plays hers with the West Ham in England. No contact whatsoever on the ball, nowhere near for Moulay. Well, remarkably, not one player from either Morocco or Algeria was booked on their respective match day one duties. But there is no player who will miss the third and final game. A new day for each side. Morocco taking on Senegal here in this stadium on Monday night at 2000 GMT. At the same time, Kenya will be meeting Algeria across Rabat in the Olympic Stadium. Thrown in again. The Algerian defense equal to it again. Cash, Benzina about to pull the trigger. And Javi got a toe in. Uzraoui and Ait El Hajj. Well, Moulay saw the challenge coming all day. And Ait El Hajj has now gone into the referee's notebook as well. It was an interesting clash between her and Moulay in the space of a couple of minutes. Both of them receiving yellow cards. It's well worth keeping an eye on. That going in a little hard on Usaha. The referee agreed that is worthy of a free kick to Algeria. She has got to have her eyes all around her, the Cameroonian official. Lots going on. Played in a good spirit, but no quarter given. Switch of play from Ould Braham. Duffer. Did that get a little reflection? No. Yeah, well, she thinks it did. The officials don't. Goal kick. Going Morocco's way. As I said earlier, Algeria, in the last campaign, built on defence, but they're bringing more of an attacking threat this time around. Once again, Moulay clashing. Once again, a little apology. Uzraoui. We'll see players going at it in the right spirit, and for now that is certainly going on. Here she is again, Uzraoui. Saka brings her down. The locals feel that it was a foul Morocco's way. Rabat trying to play the Saudi in behind. That's a lovely skill. And here comes Betty, alert to the loose ball, and still just suggesting that we should calm down a little. What's been going on her side of the pitch? again. Zabi. In France, French youth camps. Zabi goes to first, solid tackle to stop Nakash. Moulay trying to get forward, just a fraction behind, or the pass a fraction in front. He must be fairly pleased with his nice display so far. The onus, of course, on the host to bring more to the party. I'm sure Stade will be delighted if this side can keep it as tight as they have done so far. So far, they have managed to blunt Morocco's waves of attacks. So far, of course, being the operative words. This is in the thick of things, Ashraf. She trudges forward. Does it more readily. Benzina. TotalEnergies. Pressure from Betty. Ashraf. Pressure from Defer. So little time on the ball for these players. It is not too hot, it is not too humid. Leon says the referee, despite Defer feeling she was pushed to the floor. It was Rowie, nice skill from her. Into Ashraf. Draini just ahead of her. Well, she tried to scoop it forward to her. I think it was to Draini rather than Masudi. Anyway, poor execution from Qatar Ashraf. Rabat. Edouard is surely fouled as she was by Vendress. Ati. TotalEnergies into Uzraoui. So Balulu again. Balulu again getting something in the way to block the intended forward play. Usaha. Play on, says the referee. Ajabi. Oh, Braham, well, very backwards. There was a little bit of momentum, possibly, if she'd gone right. Smith-Suragi. Iken. Patient from the visitors. Usaha. Injuries. Nazari into Betty. Betty with a striker goal. And not getting her radar right whatsoever. Melissa Betty. Took her goal very, very well against the Senegalese. Good skill in the area, good composure, working the ball to a place that she could get a shot away, and then that was well executed as well by the number 6 on the ball now, just fouled by Moulay. He's really trying to get going and get revving in this game, and constantly just runs into problems, the 24-year-old. Algerian problems. Refusing to let her get away. It shows the skills that she has. So almost at the time where we'll see how much additional time there is. Duffer goes in long. The catch with the header. And Algeria will have the throw. Graham dispossessed and then slips her opposite number. 3 minutes of additional time. Here's Masudi. Is that time enough for the Lionesses to find a breakthrough? Well, Redouani is down on the floor, and that's caused the referee to just suspend play. They felt that they had the opportunity to go forward. Graham's left foot catching the left ankle of Redouani. Goes inside, who knows what it is to win things with Morocco. Redouani having lifted the North African under-20 title with their homeland in 2019. However, it is WAFCON glory that they are looking for. A bit of alchemy that they're after to turn silver. 2 of them into gold. And the final of this tournament on the 16th of August will take place. Morocco, after those 2 runner-up finishes back-to-back, would love to make it third time lucky. Reward some of the huge financial investment that has gone into the women's game here, just as it has gone into the men's game as well, of course. The Moroccan Federation, I remember back in 2022, investing $20 million over a 4-year period into the women's game, and that sort of money dwarfs the amount that many African federations have put into the men's game over the years on the continent in recent times. There's no doubt that it absolutely helps when that money is spent and invested in the right way with serious political will. As you know, the Royal Moroccan Federation and the King of this country have as well when it comes to football. Dangerous, invited forward and working hard and going through the gears to get it. Masudi showing her good strength as well. The one who is not the tallest. And just looking a little laboured as she chased onto that through ball. And that's nice from Azraf, but it was picked off. Here's Masudi. Redouani back on her feet. Draidi ahead of her, bending her run. Still Draidi, just as she angles towards goal. I think she's on the corner. The offside flag goes up because she didn't bend her run enough. You can see her trying to hold. And the pass just came too late. And with that, the half-time whistle blows as well. As I said earlier, very little action in front of goal, but a really intense encounter between these 2 North African rivals. Absolutely going at it from start to finish with a super intensity. And one wonders what the second half will bring, but fascinating encounter, delicately poised. We will find out as Second half gets on underway in 50 minutes' time. At half-time in Rabat in Group A, it is Morocco 0, Algeria 0. Start back. I bet you can't do that again.
Being your best is a daily commitment. Many dream about it, but only few walk towards it. Amstel Malta. Be your best.
Welcome to the Big Apple.
Truly phenomenal. That was simply extraordinary. Have you ever seen anything like it?
The never-ending pursuit to greatness only on Supersport.
The never-ending tour, only on your World of Champions.
You think you know Formula One? Think again. Everything is changing. New cars, new power, new teams. A new destination. A new generation. We live and breathe every lap. Anything can happen. And usually does. No favorites, no guarantees, no limits. You think you know Formula One?
Broadcast proudly brought to you by Heineken. Fans have more friends. And Batika, home of champions.
For 22 years, the old Arsenal artillery has lain silent and dormant. But the fuse is about to go boom!
Welcome to the Wonder Diamond League from Zurich, Switzerland. We're ready for a big one here.
Who's going to get another line out?
Inchby's way forward.
Oh, yes!
Supersport amplifies the action this August as the MTN8 returns to raise the local stakes.
It is a superb goal. Wonderful football.
Europe's finest battle for early season silverware. Cardiff hosts another classic showdown.
Extraordinary!
The grueling race for Reds sweeps across Spain.
Dengagon starts his assault.
Rugby's giants kick off their hotly anticipated contest.
On the Springboks.
And the Big Apple braces for 2 weeks of Grand Slam greatness. All this and so much more, only on your World of Champions.
Before we launch into the action,
Don't forget the ATP Tour.
More Masters history.
it's the heart, the mentality, no limits, absolute madness.
It's the story of the tennis season.
Catch the WT live on Supersport.
So get ready. You're about to witness greatness. Not just greatness, but the greatest. Greatest, greatest, greatest.
Welcome to the Big Apple.
Truly phenomenal. That was simply extraordinary. Have you ever seen anything like it?
The never-ending pursuit to greatness only on Supersport.
The never-ending tour, only on your World of Champions.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 14th edition of the TotalEnergies CAF Women's Africa Cup of Nations. This is Morocco hosts a historic tournament as 16 of Africa's finest women's national teams compete for continental glory. So a corner is awarded to Côte d'Ivoire, who can take this opportunity to score a goal, but Burkina Faso have such a great defense. Again, tackling the ball. The pressure is on. The referee whistles. Everyone is waiting. What a great goal! Goal! What a goal from Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire just opened the scoring and taking the lead. What a great moment for Cote d'Ivoire fans here in L'Arbizaouli Stadium. This is a great start for the game. This could be a dangerous counter-attack from Cote d'Ivoire, who are closer to scoring the second goal of this game. What a goal! Cote d'Ivoire just added another goal just in the first quarter of this first half. Cote d'Ivoire scored the second goal. They're now returning after a long absence to the expanded 16 competition. What a third goal from Cote d'Ivoire. We have said it before. This is a great game. Scoring a hat-trick, only 24 minutes to the game. This is a promising game. This is a great performance from Cote d'Ivoire. Anastasie Behi just now Burkina Faso are closer to scoring the first goal. Back again. They were closer to scoring the first goal. Attack with the goal, but we are about to see alongside Tanzania, or is Burkina Faso going to? And now we see that the referee is about to check the VAR and see if there's a potential red card. The referee is checking for a possible red card for Cote d'Ivoire. Burkina Faso fans are really excited, and knowing that a red card for Cote d'Ivoire would change everything in this game. We are minutes away from the end of the first half, and the final decision of the VAR is a red card for Cote d'Ivoire. What a cheat against Cote d'Ivoire have been awarded a free kick, and Burkina Faso are building their wall to make sure that they don't consider any more goals. Play harder and make sure that they don't concede any goals. What a fourth goal for Cote d'Ivoire. This is what Burkina Faso were fearing, actually. Sierra Safi Ouedraogo scored the fourth goal of this match. Only minutes after the goalkeeper of Burkina Faso was sent off the pitch, receiving a red card after tackling the Cote d'Ivoire player. Burkina Faso have the position now. Are they going to make it and score the goal? What a great goal! This is the first goal of Burkina Faso in this game. What a great change. As we said, there's still half an hour into the game, even though there's only 10 players, but they managed to actually score their first goal. After the last appearance in 2014, they have won this game in the group stage, 4 goals against 1, playing with 11 players, and Burkina Faso only 10 players. Scoring a hat-trick in the first half and a goal in the beginning of the second half.
Stand back. I bet you can't do that again.
Being your best is a daily commitment. Many dream about it, but only few walk towards it. Amstel Motor. Be your best.
Welcome to the Wonder Diamond League from Zurich, Switzerland. We're ready for a big one here. Who's going to get it on the line out? Inched his way forward. Oh, yes!
Watch the Commonwealth Game live on SuperSport.
You know Formula One? Think again. Everything is changing. New cars, new power, new teams. A new destination. A new generation. We live and breathe every lap. Anything can happen. And usually does. No favorites, no guarantees, no limits. You think you know Formula One?
Broadcast proudly brought to you by Heineken. Fans have more friends. And Batika, home of champions.
These are the stories the scoreboard doesn't show. The moments between the moments. The pressure and the play. The drama that turns results into journeys and series into songs.
But then everything changed.
Oh, nothing can do that.
You saw the moment. This is everything that made it possible.
Everybody should believe that's what makes us grow and push again.
Features on SuperSport. A selection of sport's greatest stories told through a new lens.
SuperSport amplifies the action this August as the GM8 returns to raise the local stakes.
It is a superb goal. Wonderful football.
Europe's finest battle for early season silverware. Cardiff hosts another classic showdown. The grueling race for red sweeps across Spain.
Vengagon starts his assault.
Rugby's giants kick off their hotly anticipated contest. And the Big Apple braces for 2 weeks of Grand Slam greatness. All this and so much more only on your World of Champions.
So the teams are back out, and we are back underway. Morocco playing from right to left in their red shirts, green shorts and red socks. Algeria from left to right, all in white with the green trim. Got a chance for the two prominent coaches of both these sides. The World Cup winner, serial champion French football to have imparted their wisdom. See what, if anything, will change. Army. Jabi. Chasing and chasing. The Le Havre player. Of course, that promising breeding ground for Algerian players, given that is where Riyad Mahrez was plucked from relative obscurity before joining Leicester City. Betty dancing through the Moroccan midfield and then in behind. Lovely ball into Bendries. She's got a Ken behind her. And she's choosing to take on Redouane. And she's won the corner. Algeria's first of the match. Duffer. And we'll swing this in, deep it goes. And back into the middle. Redouane just happy to get it clear to anywhere. Boussaha. Frenchman spotted. Atik. Azraf. Sorry. Ajabi. Betty. Which controls footwork. She has Melissa. Betty. They're based in France, like many of this Algerian side out. Not in her case. Abraham, nice football this from Algeria. And then just possibly a little over ambitious with the pass, but it would be nice from there. Idris going in, and Amishi going down. And I think he's trying to say that she's done very little wrong. There goes the ball. Fully entitled to go for it. And Bendries. First major tournament. There's Algeria. Having not had a single corner in the first half, get that second within the first 5 minutes of the second period. She went deep last time, Duffer, and she does so again. Out comes Mishi, drops it. The decision undoubtedly will go her way. And, look on the face on the Algerian who found her, saying, "What have I done?" Well, you could easily argue that Ajabi went into the side of Khadija Namichi, which is why the veteran He's receiving treatment on the floor. Twice nominated for CAF Goalkeeper of the Year and Player of the Year. Amici, being in her club as far since 2012. And it's what a staggering amount of titles, leagues, Throne Cups, Champions Leagues, 30 trophies, or thereabout. Loved the game since she was young. Used to travel to a nearby town just to play football because the one where she grew up, she couldn't. She's taken that passion to the Women's World Cup, and she will be hoping that in just under 3 weeks' time she can have the medal. She and so many others in this Moroccan side want. The Stade. Well, there's a nice idea from Stade, but it was well read by both Benghazi and by Smits Raggi. Just watch this Algeria team and just think, as ever, that under Ben Stade, they are a very well drilled and well organised side. Good communication, good structure, good shape. Everybody knows what they're doing. Everything is set up. It's just they need a little bit more firepower at the other end of the pitch. And that's just about waiting for players to come through. If they are not there at present. Benzina. Akash with the strike. Well, nice idea. Well struck, but straight at Benghazi. But good technique. She tried something like that in the first half and it really didn't come off, but this is so much better. Masudi goes down. And that right side. Look on the face of Benchris of Algeria. Okay, just clipping. Moroccan live wire. She's still having a little word with the referee Benchris, but she's not going to be changing that decision. Six Moroccan players on the edge of the penalty area. Azraf bends it in, just needs to touch this, and it does get a touch and it goes behind for what will be a corner to Morocco. Nice bend, nice delivery. Searching ball in. She gets the accolades of Nakash for that ball in. Really important bit of defending. Azraf again. Well, Benzina's coming very late to the back. Up goes Atik. Here it's Benzina on her left foot. And blocked instantly. Now she just ghosted in. The centre back, she's arguing there was a handball in there. Now here's the coach, Jorge Vilda. And this undoubtedly will be looked at. The Cameroonian official just ushering the players away. And let's have a look here. Well, they are adamant, but did that just hit the back of her head? Well, it hit the back of her head and then hit the other Algerian player, but how much is she supposed to know about that? Yes, there was contact. Was the arm in an unnatural position? You would have to suggest not. That's right. Wearing a slightly sullen look. I'm impressed, but she's got yet another chance to use her set-piece skills. We're so used to seeing Rabat take all these sorts of opportunities for Morocco down the years. And now there's a new player in town. Well, there's a Nigerian player on the floor. Shenanigans going on inside the area. And Jabi it is. Here we go again. Asraf. Kept alive, but not because the flag's up and that'll be a goal kick. It looked as though Morocco had done enough to put it back into the danger area. But ultimately just too much on it from Qatar Asraf, the 18-year-old. Well, one can only imagine that Senegal are watching this with huge interest, because if this game were to end in a draw, Senegal would give themselves every chance of making it through, whereas as of this morning that didn't look particularly likely. Morocco and Algeria, they both have 4 points at the end of play today. Senegal just a point behind, meeting Morocco in admittedly a very tough match day 3. And they will fancy their chances. And Jabi, well, the flag hasn't gone up for now. In she is, the Algerian in behind. Could you get a strike away? She can. And then the flag does go up. Atik was there to block the shot in any case. Benzina stepping up really well. She didn't seem to really believe that she was in behind Jabi. And that hesitation to go elsewhere. Betty. Benzina. Betty again going in with real passion. Draidi off the shoulders where she loves to play. And a real striker. And yet again, she's just been ushered out, this time by Iken. It's 3 times now where Draidi is just trying to angle her way towards goal, only to be ushered out gently but purposefully and forcefully. And the Algerian defenders into an area where she cannot do any damage. Headed one home in this very stadium. On match day 1. With a good header from a delightful cross in. And then she got on the end of another cross later on. The aging striker for Morocco, showing really good poacher's instinct just to get a stud on the ball to turn it home. Edouani does well to dispossess Bendries. Nakash looking for Ouzraoui, smothered by 2. She's still going. Ouzraoui just needs to lay it off to Draidi, doesn't do so. Well, there was a shooting opportunity there. Had she done so, she may well have been better advised if she had just the set for a Draidi. Didn't come. Benzina. Usaha. The third goes with safety first. Rabat dropping deep. Oh, One wonders if this game might be one off the bench where the likes of Jebak, Moulay, Tagnell to the winger that we see, red-locked winger many times over the years, and the opportunities that she can bring. And Saoud, the forward, will also be hoping she can come in and show what she's all about. The Algerian lineup, meanwhile, well, goal scoring is something in the problem area for them. Musaha draws the foul. From the Saudi Arabia. Nina Musaha came up through the Paris Saint-Germain Academy. Another with plenty of youth caps for France before making the switch to the North African nation. Benzina slices that. I'm sure that Jorge Vilda has changed his t-shirt from the first half. Soothing. Oud Abraham just showing a little bit of frustration as she remonstrated that decision that goes the way of Morocco. Stade again with the physicality just to put her off her stride. Still again. Doesn't look happy with conceding the ball there, but didn't concede the corner at least. Sudi scrappling away. Redouani manages to pick it up, and she thought about the shot not once, not twice, but three times, and in the end, one never really came. Zina Redouani. She can score goals, not too many. The left back. And cash down, and again. Oh, Braham, every time. So 50-50 decisions going the host's way. And the frustration just slightly spills over. Yes, Boutalev set to come on as overhead kick was being wound up for quite some time by Ashraf. She goes to Fur's way. And here is Boutalev. Javi, the player coming off. Boutalev of Auxerre in France is on. For the heartbeat of the Algerian midfield. Good technique. Link defensive attack. And she'll be a welcome addition in the middle of the park. There's Braham, Dafur. Lovely switch of play. Busaha. Bendris, who's coming off the right-hand side. Well, they could have played on and had some advantage instead. It'll be a set-piece situation. Matik conceding the foul. Meanwhile, as this is being lined up, again, is just receiving a little bit of treatment, the right back up on the near touchline. The whistles ring down. There's Algeria bide their time. Again, back on the pitch. Dafur, strike at goal. And Amici, the first attempt she let drop, and the second she was not going to. It was a fairly unorthodox effort from the Algeria skipper. And they certainly didn't cause any real problems for Amici. Benzina, Redouani. Nicely picking out Asraf in space, and she drives forward under pressure from Dafur. Still she goes forward, Asraf. And a combination of Busaha, Braham, bring her down. That is the frustration I was talking about earlier from Braham. Dreaming of Gloria, finding the top right-hand corner. There's going to be some strike from there. Rabat will take this delivery. No, she won't. Ashraf put in a good ball from here last time around. That required late and decisive action from Algeria to turn it behind for a corner. It caused problems. Did she repeat the trick? Floated into the same sort of area. Up goes Rabat. It's not fully cleared. Nakash with the strike. Algeria yet again with the block. Betty, now they look to break on the counter. And the referee thought about playing the advantage. And she's issuing a yellow card to Asraf. Well, it may be one of those where she was taking one for the team because Algeria were going to break. Well, while Balumu receives treatment, here is the golden goal of Moroccan football. Islam Chebak, the first Moroccan African Women's Player of the Year. Morocco's all-time leading scorer in the Women's Africa Cup of Nations with 8. He's on for Draidi. She's got just over 20 minutes to see if she can make an impact. Top scorer in the 2022 WAFCON, top scorer in the 2024 WAFCON, played last year, of course. Can dictate games, can score goals out of nothing. And she will effectively swap places with Asraf, who will take Draidi's centre-forward role, and then Chebak will slot into the centre of the park behind her. And here she is. Now the footballer for Morocco men's team. Grew up with it in the blood, Chebak. Despite all those feats she's had in her career, individual accolades are nice, she says, but what really counts are team trophies. This squad unified in its singular goal. The third pocket of space. Balubu playing across into the middle as she does. It gets a deflection, and well, ambling in from the right-hand side was Boutalev. Otherwise, there was just one player to aim at in the box for Balubu. Nakash. Benzina to Redouane. Again, using her guile just to see them out despite the threat of two Moroccan players around her. But he looks as though he might be feeling some of the pressure. He was being asked about if there's too much pressure on Morocco given they play at home. And he said playing at home in front of our fans and families will never be a negative. And as Bendries goes down in the area hoping for more. Decision goes against her. We do not feel that pressure. So the Vilda, if anything, we feel the illusion and the excitement of showcasing our football. Well, there is a long way, of course, to go. And taking on a team with a really good defence like Algeria, undoubtedly a test for Morocco, especially as the Algerians do not leave many gaps at the back end, don't push forward in number, and therefore leave themselves exposed. Sure, they'll see this as a very good test as they try and grow and build into this competition. Benzina looking for options ahead of her, choosing Redouane. Switches play, looking to Shabak in the middle. Nakash, Atik. Ken. And sees the throw in, I'm fairly sure. Well, it's actually gone in Algeria's way. I'm not sure it should have done. Well, there's a flavour of the spirit of the tournament. All families tend to come out and watch Morocco's women's games. It seems very much an enjoyable affair, whether they win, draw or lose. Now that Shabak is on, there's Raf. Sees the set piece and responsibilities. Can she do better than the youngster? The Sunni with the header, and Ghazi with the save. Well, it was on target, and they managed to find one another, Chewbacca and the Sunni. She would have had to generate real power to beat Ghazi from there. At least a strike on goal though, and we've not had too many in this second half. There's just a quarter of an hour left to play. Boutalem. Masoudi as well under pressure from two. Redouane driving forward. Well, Ben Stade is going to be spoken to by the referee because he's continued to argue that decision by the referee, saying that there was nothing wrong with it. And you can see the Cameroonian official coming over to tell Mr. Ben Stade, who is boss, and he might need to stop with the demonstrations, even if he clearly, fundamentally disagrees with the decision. Ines Hiri is the latest to come on. Bedries races run. And Hiri, who plays their football in Switzerland with Yvenon, has got just under 15 minutes to make an impact. Moulay trying to stop this latest charge forward. Rabat was thinking about the spectacular Nakash. Redouane. You can see what she was trying to do. And she puts her head in her hands, as if to acknowledge to herself she got that delivery very wrong. Musaha. Smith's from Raggy going through the legs of Masoudi, and to have lost the ball there would have been dangerous. Well, that's a lovely idea from Defer. Cut out by Redouane. Top quality touch from the Algeria captain, and then on the other side of the pitch, El Haj had to prevent that ball finding its way to Musaha. Musaha again. Balulu. Atik looking for Asraf. Braham as well. Smith's really well. Must have been in their mouth of that delivery. The Sudi almost cut out. The offline flag has gone up, and the play on, as some of the Moroccan players were suggesting, instead it's going to be taken back. Rani. Goes well, Rani. That's a lovely ball into the middle. No one on the end of it. There's only Masoudi who was in there. She did really well to put that into the right area. El Haj. Again. Betty. Braham takes up the running, and shoulder and a hand on it from Jebak. Just pulling her back. She's worked really hard in the centre of the park. Amira Graham, based in Turkey, with traps on score. Usaha. And she is Graham. Smith-Suragi. And Graham again. Nice footwork to open it up and into the substitute Hiri. And again, dispossessed. Rabat. Looking for support. And again, still down on the floor, but they're playing on. Here's Chabak. And asking surely too much of Rawi. And again, in a spot of bother. She's mixing a little bit. Algeria, my back and holding her foot. Looks like it may well be cramped, but holding both legs again. She's just trudging her way back to her right back position. Probably didn't want that again. And she just sweeps it forward. Duffer trying to set Boutaleb on her way. And Teague with the back pass, just enough on it. Balumu. And Zida skips past the challenge. Redouani. Nakash. Abraham clipped. No, decision comes her way. Well, I wonder what the Algerians make of that. She's still down, Abraham. And that's a corner to Morocco. And Abraham is still down on the floor. And Chloe Ungazi, the Algeria goalkeeper, is making this point about the foul, or perceived foul, to the referee. There it is, Abraham coming into the area. And she's got to stay focused on the task in hand, which is to hold Morocco for the next few minutes. Musaha only as far as Aitel Haj Massoudi in space in the middle! And Morocco breaks through! The winning counts! Well, the substitutes running onto the pitch to celebrate. And Massoudi buried in there. Morocco have the goal, and it was superbly turned behind. Well, I do wonder what the referee is thinking here, but they are celebrating. There's no indication it's not going to be happening, but the referee's got a yellow card in their pocket, and we'll follow that. And I think it is the celebrations that she has most issue with. Aitel Haj, look at that. Massoudi clearly onside, excellent first touch. And then a striker's instinct in front of goal just to poke that past to Ghazi. And Morocco have the breakthrough. Expertly taken. And she runs and runs all day to get into positions like that. To have moments just like that. Well, a few complaints from Algeria. The referee does have her finger to her ear. But the goal absolutely stands. So Morocco, they're just moments away from going clear at the top of Group A. They will be on 6 points. Algeria and Senegal will both be on 3, but Algeria, having beaten Senegal on match day 1, are ranked above them. And we will have to see Monday's denouement will bring as Morocco try and find a second. Nice from Betty. Moulay coming back, and then she does her again, the Algerian. And one more time for good measure, and finds a teammate. Nice skill from Hiri. Into Boutelem. Boussaha in the middle if they can find her. Some tired legs out there. And Masudi just being clipped and then just goes down and makes the point and wins the free kick. And as she goes down, well, Morocco are going to bring on some substitutes to ease some of the tired legs that we can see on both sides. I don't think Masudi will be too bothered if she goes off now, but those waiting to come on, Najat Saeed and Najat Badri from Morocco. Algeria also going to be making changes. Sophia Bekele among those coming on, 2 from Benstiti as well. Azami looking for Betty, another one of those who can run all day. Hiri, Odwani gets the touch on both ball and from player. Morocco will have the decision. Wasila Alawash also set to come on for Algeria, who held on and held on. And they've been done quite possibly at the death. Ken wins the corner, and Nakash with the glancing header behind. She's really struggling, as you can see, Niket. Still on the pitch for now. It's Titi, puts his players on, but they are still waiting despite the fact that the ball is out. Defer. Amici comes and punches, and not convincingly. And Hazami just about keeps it alive and in. Defer into the middle it goes again. And contact is made this time by Hazami one more time. And there was a little push in there, trying to create the room for the header. So the change is finally happening. Boussaha being replaced by Behaled. Plays for Lyon in France. She charges on. Boussaha offered, unsurprisingly, Iken offer as well. Alawash in her place. The 90 minutes are up. Still the Morocco substitutes wait to come on. And we'll see the additional time, surely 5 minutes there will be. Aitel Haj. Swung in, Masoudi trying to find the space again. And importantly, cut out by Alouache, who had just come on. So too, Behele here. Redouane scrapping for everything. That's what we've come to expect from her over the years. And belatedly, here come the Morocco substitutions. As Rabat makes way for Hajar Said. Goes to Paris in France. And Badri is on for Rabat. 38 years of age now, the AS FAR player Badri. Approaching 20 years with the national team. Made her debut back in 2007. Let's explain why she's just been entrusted with the minutes of stoppage time to see this through. Here's Chebak, another very much the wrong side of 30. Masoudi playing it in. Ouzraoui. Oh, just didn't manage to take the ball. Chebak to her left. Options to her right. Striker goal across the face-off goal. Well, it wouldn't have counted in any case because she was off strike, having just come on Said. But Ouzraoui just couldn't get the first touch right. And if she had done, well, that may well have had a very different ending. Just fading away. Alouache. Behele. Halfway through the additional time. Anywhere will do time at the back for Morocco. Old Braham. Hiri. And again to Hiri. In the middle. Tip, I thought, from Badri, not given. Badri now does win the ball. Said ahead of her, and she finds her. And Ouzraoui wants it in the middle. And Ghazi came out and just about managed to win the ball. Well, the ref definitely on the medical team. And Ben's Titi saying, don't do it. And he doesn't want to waste any time. And that was interesting, because the medical team were about to rush on. And there's Titi, I said, doesn't want to lose any time. Redouane. Here he run the ball. Here the referee, she's dropped it down. Unclear how much longer we've got to get. We've got to go 30 seconds, possibly a minute. Surely not much longer than that. Chebak. Ouzraoui. The cleanest tackle by Betty. And the stadium is ready to celebrate. And there goes the final whistle. And they had to do it the hard way, Morocco. But the Atlas Lionesses have scaled their particular mountain because Algeria made it incredibly hard for them. Keeping it tight at the back and restricting the Moroccans to half chances at best. But with 6 minutes to go. Salah Masoudi stolen behind the Algerian defence to latch onto the delightful ball in from Hanan Ait El Had, the skipper, to ensure that Morocco had 2 wins from 2 at the start of this WAFCON 2026. They are out on their own at the top of Group A. Algeria and Senegal 3 points apiece, and Kenya, well, their dreams of this tournament are over. It has ended in Rabat. Morocco 1, Algeria 0.
When it ends, but yeah, it's showing 129, and we are going to see the top of the total.
Supersport amplifies the action this August as the MTN 8 returns.